used to rest in the morning. I had me a book by the morning. I had me some breakfast by the morning. I had a six by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning.
Now we're cooking. It's a coach. You're a...
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. On second down, Montgomery. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the 1st down. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, it didn't go their way, did it?
Defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Orchestrating the offense, the former 3-time captain at Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Cousins now on 2nd down. Open here, Adam Thielen. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you won't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game...
Nowhere to first down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Play action now. Cousins. Got a man. It's right. And he's taken down, but not before he gets us into enemy territory across the 40. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 12 carries, 116 yards, and a trip to the end zone.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be fourth down and a few inches. On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. This one from 46 yards out. And Forbath will put this one through, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So our initial drive of the night ends in 3 points. Maybe not exactly what this home crowd wanted, but they'll take the early lead.
They will take it. You're exactly right. Everybody wants a touchdown. But in this case, good opening drive, put points on the board. And a lot of coaches do believe the first team to score in the game, statistically, often ends up the winner.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset. Draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs? The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Got a man. That's Allison. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Rodgers to Allison, good for a Green Bay first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that could be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. A false start backs him up 5. First and 15. Now a play fake here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Packers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Rodgers to throw once more. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Cousins now to throw on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Cousins to throw it, eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete as well. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure you.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. And what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Flushed out right, and he fires one incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. 3rd down here. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
And he finds Cook. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. That one goes for 24 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Again, it's Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
First down. Here's the run with Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Second down, Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ty Montgomery and the offense getting set for their next drive. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. They go play action here on first down. And that's incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Rodgers now to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, Montgomery slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield. He had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. A big play there out of Cook. 41 yards on the ground. So he rips off a great run and shows you why this year he's top 10 in rushing in the league.
And looks like he's trying to move up fast on the leaderboard, doesn't he? Top 10? Looks like he's trying to get into the top 5.
They run again on 1st down. Cook looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. To throw, Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. Touchdown, Vikings! Adam Thielen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Rodgers to Cobb. Good for a Green Bay first. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Call it a gain of 3, and it's a 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Two former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end Graham. Packer first down. From midfield, here's Rodgers. He sets to fire deep. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Following the interception, Cousins escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
On second down, Cousins again. Flush to his right. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Ryan Quigley now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they look to...
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Matthew Stafford leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. And finally, on Monday Night Football, a good battle in the NFC East. The Redskins and the Eagles from Lincoln Financial Field. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Crosby on now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll have excellent field position to begin this drive as he's all the way up to midfield at the 50.
That return gets all the way to midfield, so we know the field position is absolutely flipped at this point. If I'm the defensive coordinator, I might think about blitzing right now to try and take field position back.
Starting the third quarter with Cook. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Cousins now from the 50. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Nick Perry in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3-score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because that's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part going very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
False start, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 1st down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Cobb. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
319! Look at
Draw play, Rodgers to Montgomery. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. Deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field, and now...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Muhammad Wilkerson able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. Taking it about the 36. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. They'll try to get something going with Ty Montgomery. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They give him 12 yards and a first down. Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Graham's got it over the middle. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Rodgers. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Rodgers got to have this one. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Completes it left side to the tight end Lewis. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Rodgers on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing now is Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cobb. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And off comes to Cook. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Cook strip, the ball's out, and the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
No, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
Here's Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. And he's brought down. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Rodgers now on first down. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jimmy Graham. His second touchdown on the season. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Packers. Well, they knew a lot of steps had to happen here. They got step one, the touchdown. You need a 2-point conversion here, don't you?
You do, and as you continue to look ahead, if you're able to get that, somehow get the ball back and get another score, they have to go for 2 again. That's why teams are practicing multiple 2-point plays.
We saw that in Super Bowl 51 with the Patriots getting a pair of big 2-point conversions. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45.
Let's go.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down. That's Cook. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now Rodgers. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Rodgers to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Forbath, the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. And they're not able to complete it. Now just 6 seconds remain. Time for one, maybe two more plays.
319.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Vikings, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Packers, their woes continue as the record